one of those days.
Yep, it's one of those days. That's the thing too. Overture episode 58.
Okay, 58. All
Yeah,
right.
I already started. I had to
Oh,
record.
we're hitting it. All
Yeah,
right.
we're
Wow,
just
we've been
going
doing
in.
this for more than a year.
We're just going in. Yeah, the new 58.
Apparently, DC's doing another 52 weekly series.
Okay, so I have not been paying attention to
Me
American
neither.
superhero comics in
Same.
over a decade.
Same.
Um, I have to ask, like, I understand that there will always be a thing because there are old mans out there who need to read their Spider-Man comics and their Batman comics, right?
Yes.
But like, I I just I feel I. I feel like I watched the beginning and end of Naruto,
Yeah.
like, and then
Yeah.
it's like no though,
Yeah.
we can't have Spider-Man advance. We
Yeah.
can't have Bruce Wayne just die or give up and become a new. We can't do that.
We can't make Batman Beyond the actual thing that happens.
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't have Miles Morales just be Spider-Man from now on.
They did do that with Nick Fury, though.
Okay.
Nick Fury Jr., aka Samuel L. Jackson, is now became 616 Nick Fury
Cool. Oh boy, the wind
because
has started.
they needed synergy.
Yeah, they gotta. I think how damaging is the MCU to like superheroes, and I don't mean to, like pre-Infinity War. I mean like
Well, Kevin,
post.
let me ask you something about a little series called Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
And what were they like before their movie came out, and what are they like now after their movie has
Okay.
come out?
Very
Who
true.
was writing that title before the movie came out, and who was writing that title immediately after that movie came out?
Valid.
When
Valid.
was Venom put on the team?
Oh god. Man, Agent Venom was such a cool idea. I am still a stan of Agent Venom. I still love the idea that Flash Thompson becomes an asshole and he bonds with Venom, who is also like an asshole, and they try to be better people together. I
I
like.
still, I, God, nothing is more indicative of the problems of like American comics, except possibly Doctor Doom crying about 9/11.
Oh, that's
Then
the
Flash,
that is
then
that.
Flash Thompson getting sent to war and losing his legs.
I loved it. I love that idea. I love the idea that Peter Parker's bully had to get humbled and then chewed up in the American military industrial complex and then returns and then is made a monster figuratively and literally. I kind of like
Yeah,
that. Like that,
yeah.
I'm saying there's stuff there. Now, was it executed well? No, not really. But there's
And
stuff
also,
there.
it just now that's just a permanent part of his character.
Yeah.
It's and like I
Lieutenant
don't
Dan
know,
got
it's
no
just one of
legs.
those. They just Which, okay, fine. In another way, you can look at it saying, okay, they have more diverse roster of major characters. If Flash Thompson is even still considered a major character.
I don't think so. But it's also
But,
that.
I have a hard time looking at, Ditko era Spider-Man and thinking about Flash Thompson being an Iraq war vet in a,
Well, so here's
it's,
also the issue, and I think that superhero comics have this problem possibly more than any other comics, which is it like so okay, Flash Thompson lost his legs. He got no legs. He's Lieutenant Dan.
yes.
And apparently
Let's not say that, Kevin. Let's not use that as the word here.
okay, well, okay, so Flash Thompson lost his leg, but he also kind of made amends with being a bully with Peter Parker, right? So let's just say that.
Yes.
Let's just say it.
Yes.
Okay, and Peter Parker is a brilliant scientist man who has access to like he could give Flash Thompson robot legs.
Ah,
Like
he
function,
could
not
introduce him to a man
super.
named Dr. Connors.
Not even like Dr. Connors like regenerated. Like you could get like a pretty decent pair of robot legs for Flash Thompson.
Yep.
Not even superhero ones, just like, hey Flash, here's robot legs. You can walk around.
Just bionic legs.
Yeah. You just you walk around. You could do that.
Also, just in that same vein of like, so okay, like, I liked the premise of all of live action Spider-Verse because I liked that it's Peter Parker saying, "Hey, we're all scientists here. There's no reason we can't working together all cure your guys' problems."
Yeah.
And so it's like even expanding from Flash Thompson getting legs, like why has Reed Richards not cured the Lizard?
He could do it.
Like, why is it's just bizarre to me that like this is the larger sandbox of the Marvel universe has real problems when you start even gently blowing on it.
Yeah, it's because it's all the characters are not like they exist in the same whatever, but are not tuned for it. If you think about like, oh well, it's the idea of like, okay, so like Kirk Connors is spreading his lizard juice in New York City. Wouldn't the Fantastic Four or Doctor Strange be like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because the more superheroes you add, problems arise. Unless you're doing something like The Boys, where all the superheroes are assholes. Also, there's like 20 of them. So there's not like hundreds.
There's all one corporation-owned superheroes who don't even really fight crime.
They make movies.
They're in movies and photo shoots, and they sell stuff.
Yep. Which is fine. I like that. But it's just, I don't, man. I just superheroes.
They're VTubers.
Yeah. Also, I think Invincible does okay, but that's more like still.
Yeah.
They just don't care about like. It's the one whenever you're trying to make your thing gritty and real, which I think that's the live action problem, where your suspension of disbeliefs, and then you start to question the whole ideals of like, well, why wouldn't they do this? Because when you're reading a comic book or watching a cartoon, the thought of my mind of like, well, what are those people doing in the background? Whereas the live action movie will specifically bring that question up, and then you're like, oh, what? That's kind of messed up.
Yeah. So I will say season 2 of Invincible is also, I think, taking it a step further as well, where like it was showing Adam Eve helping rebuild after the big fight.
I appreciate that.
Well, no, because like she like Adam Eve's like a whole corner of an apartment back up, and the construction people are just like, "How do I know that's up to code?" Like you can't just
that's
do
sick.
That.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that is good. I like that. See,
and she helps like rebuild like a little park in the little neighborhood too for a kid. And then like it winds up collapsing because like that's why the city never turned that dump wreck into a park.
Oh, that is good. See, that's good. I like that kind of. See, like that questions are asked and they have answers.
Yeah.
It's been my favorite my pet project, the idea that will never happen, which is the idea of
DJ Detective?
No, that it happened and then fell apart. What I'm talking about is my multi-million-dollar Netflix/Amazon series that's all about sports rules regulation in a world with superheroes and trying to stop cheating. Because how will sports even work if you have people with telekinesis and like superhero regenerations? It's like, well, how do we know? How do we know that
that happened in X-Men Evolution, where like after mutants were revealed, they stripped Jean's soccer titles from her.
Exactly, because you don't know. And then there's so like subtle cheating, and then like, well, like how does that work? Like to me, that question is so fascinating because to me, either sports are done or you have to have so many regulations and weird fights of like, well,
Yep.
Cyclops shoots lasers from his eyes, but then technically that doesn't stop him from playing basketball. But then it would also be like, well, what if what is this guy who can like heal, like Wolverine can heal really fast, which means he can recover from injury, which would make him a lot better playing soccer. Because he pulls his hammy, and then the next game, he's just good to go.
Not even the next game.
Yeah, like the next quarter or whatever. He's just like, well, Wolverine got a concussion, and then he just came back. But then does that mean people are hard fouling him way more because they know he just recovers? What's the problem here?
Is that legal?
That like
Are
that's
they allowed to hard foul?
That's the kind of discussions I want to have. It's the 1 ounce of what if there's a Jean Grey in the baseball audience that was just making every ball a little bit of a curveball. Yep. Just lowering that pitch a little bit. How do you prove that? How do you stop it? I just think that's like my dream. That would be my dream show. It's for no one.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point too. Just no, if there's just someone in the stands screwing with the game, what do you do?
Yeah, like what do you do? What if some guy wanted to troll on like the PGA Tour and one guy who's unknown, and then they're just saying he's gonna hit a hole in one every hole. He has no powers. I do. I'm doing it. You can't prove he didn't just do it. Hole in one all the time.
Every time he just shot an 18.
And like, oh, those quandaries are so like up my alley. Where it's like, what do I do? It was that one interesting bit of like the Civil War where they had to have a trial about Iron Fist because it was like Iron Fist does not have superpowers. He just knows karate really good. Does he have to be registered for just knowing karate really good? How does that work? And I like that. That's an interesting idea.
That's very funny.
Yeah, it's like,
what do we do with him?
He did. Theoretically, every human could just do what he did.
Yeah, nothing's stopping him.
He has no special, like, he is not a mutant. He's not an alien. He's just a dude who reached enlightenment through martial arts. Anyone can do it. What is that? Is that a power? Does that mean we have to register like a boxer? Because he can punch really good. He can kill you with his bare hands.
Punch better than the next guy.
Yeah, he'd do it. All right. So I just okay, bouncing around. Did you watch the Defunct Land about the American Idol experience, or should I wait for Nolan on that one?
No, I still haven't. We should probably wait for Nolan.
Okay, I'll wait for Nolan on that one. Oh, you watched the Pokemans. What did you think about the Pokemans?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this was the one for me because I'm excited to open digital cards, not to play, just to open digital cards.
Oh, so you're the problem.
Oh, but I did notice something else about the stream, Kevin. Did you notice something about the stream?
I just watched like the late one when I woke up. What did you notice?
It didn't drop any frames, Kevin. It ran consistent.
Oh, it was
the
a
whole
very
way
smooth
through.
frame rate. That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, I looked at this and I felt nothing, but I feel so weird about Pokemon.
Also, I got excited because whenever they were like doing the video for XY or Z to A, Alpha.
Pizza. Currently, everyone's calling it pizza because like the Lumos City looks like a pizza, and it's like ZA. Pokemon ZA. It's pizza.
But yeah, so I was just like, hey, wait, these are all XY Pokemon. Like, they're not supposed to do an XY yet. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was legitimately surprising. No one has it. I think so. If that game, the rumored is that's going to be like a Switch 2 kind of launch title kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be on both, which means maybe it's built for the Switch 2 and it'll run at a decent, 30 frames per second.
So yeah, if I'm
cool.
being I really don't think it's going to be on the Switch one. I think it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive.
I think that would make sense. I think they are going to do like a back port of it, similar to how they did with the Zelda games.
Zelda.
Yeah. Like they did that with 3 Zelda games. Like Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild were both, they were on like they were switched between them. So I think they'll do that.
It's wild to me how good, and I get it, it's because it's Nintendo's in-house team, but it's wild to me how good Breath of the Wild, or whatever the sequel was, Breath of the Wild 2, runs on the Switch.
Oh god, that thing's incredible.
Compared
Also,
to the
that thing
Pokemon
took
game.
like 5 years of dev time and stuff, and they put the work into it. I think,
and it was a lot of the same map that was already in place,
Yeah.
and just building on top of that. But
Yeah.
still,
Oh, that's fine. Do it. Especially when your story and your stuff, and there's more in it. What I'm saying is, I'm kind of glad there's no Pokemon game in 2024. I understand that the entire video game industry is collapsing all around us. But I feel like one of the problems with Pokemon is that they were doing that Call of Duty, like there has to be something every year. And that was what was degrading the system quality, where it was going like, all right, you got to pump something out every single year. We need a game. Go.
Yep. And when that was like a Game Boy, it makes sense that you can do it that fast.
Yeah, because you can add like, okay, here's the Pokemon DS engine. Here's like the dime. Well, we got to put in some new sprites, some new Pokemons, but we don't have to like retool the world. And it's like, well, now the open world is chugging, and we can't quite fix it because we're in production of the next game. Figure it out.
Yep.
Lower those textures even more. Reduce that frame rate.
So, what are your dream Mega Evolutions, Kevin?
Okay.
What's your Pokemon you want to see that should have a Mega?
Okay, it's hard because like the one my favorite Mega Evolution is still Beedrill. Beedrill. Yeah. I want more Pokemon like that were just complete ass, and then now they rule. I think Paris deserves one. Paris would be cool. I like I
want Ladian.
Ladian would be really cool. Full Common Rider. Like I want Pokemon that you looked at. It's hard off the top of my head, but basically I liked Mega Evolution, where it was, here's this Pokemon, it looks neat, it's competitively unviable, let's make it viable. That's cool. Like I don't like it on Charizard, or like the starters don't deserve them. Except maybe Meganium, because Meganium sucks. Give it one. But
so, no, I think the starters are special enough that they should get Megas. Did Greninja get a Mega?
No, but it got like an Ash. It got a super form. It got one. So okay, I will relent on the idea that people love the starters, so I guess you have to give them Megas. But otherwise, I want like Rattata or like Pidgey.
Yeah, Raticate.
Yeah, stuff.
Ooh, I want both Raticates. Like I want Dark Raticate and Raticate both to be able to react to Raticatium.
Yeah.
And Mega Evolve.
Oh yeah, like I want like garbage Pokemon. To me, Mega Evolution is for garbage Pokemon to not be garbage. Or if you like a Pokemon, it's like, here you go. Here's Starmie. I love Starmie. Give it a Mega. Here we go. It's gonna look like biblically accurate Starmie. It's like that's what we want to see. Where it's like, what is this?
They gave Metagross a Mega, right? Because they just put another Metagross on top of it.
Yeah, and it was too good. Like I love Metagross. I think Metagross rules, but it's already a good Pokemon. It didn't need it. It's one where like if the Pokemon's already good, I don't think it needs a Mega Evolution. Mega should always be for, I love this thing. It's garbage. Oh, I can use it. That's magnificent. It's also
I want the Rock Tyrannosaurus Rex. I want it to have a Mega.
That would be cool. Oh, both of them. The Ice Rock, like long neck Brachiosaurus.
Yeah,
that's cool. Make the
I feel like they're gonna give megas to the XY starters.
That's okay. That's fine. I also like the idea. Some people were complaining that they didn't like that the whole game's going to be set in Lumoy City, but
Lumios.
I think that's cool. I like.
Also, that's less. That's less stuff for them to hopefully make and chug.
Nah, it's just going to be in different districts because that's the Arceus game was like you would load into an area and here's like the world like in a Monster Hunter or something where like you're loading into the zone. So they're just going to load into a district and there's going to be Pokemon there. Which
Also,
that's cool. I like
I do have a
Ravnica.
question.
Make it Ravnica.
yeah, play a sweet slow piano cover of Linkin Park.
God, man, Magic the Gathering, you just cringe.
Um, are the Legends games just Pokemon games?
They're kinda but different. I didn't play them. I never played Legends Arceus.
Yeah, like I didn't care about Johto.
No, it was Gen 4. Because that's where Arceus and Palkia
Ruby?
was. Diamond and Pearl.
Mm.
That's when you had it.
So is that what those got instead of remakes? No, they still had remakes.
No, they got
too,
a remake. They were just Gen 3, Gen 2 and Gen 2 had a remake on the DS. So Gen 1 has had remakes forever.
Gen 1 had Fire Red, and then had Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah. Gen 2 had this Heart Gold, Soul Silver on the DS. Gen 3 had Alpha Ruby and Sapphire, or Mega Sapphire on the 3DS. And Gen 4 had the Switch. Haven't done 5 yet, which is probably...
Which is black and white?
Yeah.
Because I know I saw a good comic where it was the two black and white girls arguing of like, oh, it's going to be me. No, it's going to be me. And then the light lit up the XY girl.
I saw pictures of Zygarde living in like the hospital bed, and it just said, "I lived, bitch." I think Gen 6 deserves more attention, honestly.
I like it.
I think Gen 6 has some cool stuff in there, and I hope they expound upon it.
So I think Mega Evolutions are the best thing they've introduced.
Oh, by far. They've been chasing that gimmick for like 10 years.
Since it came out.
Yeah. Because everyone thinks it's cool. It's a battle evolution for your favorites. Everyone loves it.
And they also introduced fairy types in Gen 6.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're like me, who hadn't played a Pokemon game since Fire Red and Leaf Green, man, they introduced a lot of Pokemon between Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Also, you got the stuff where I think Gen 6 did Gen 6 have HMs, or was that one of the first ones to say, screw it, we're not doing that anymore?
It still had them.
Because I think like the ones after
it was Sun and Moon.
Yeah, Sun and Moon just said, we're gone. Ignore these. We're just gonna give you here's a device that does what the HM's gonna do on like the thing. Which I've always liked. Because I hated HMs.
Oh, XY also introduced clothes?
The clothes are very important.
Roller skates?
Yeah. I like stuff in XY. I also I believe XY, if memory serves, was like the game where you were positioned as kind of the rival because you would get to places first and then the character came after you. I want to say.
Oh yeah.
Where like you were traditionally the Gary Oak, which I thought like, oh, that's neat. I think Team Flare is underdeveloped, and I think it'd be cool, going more about them, and that's why you got a game. Because like Team Skull and the Pokemon stuff, the next one I think are good. I think Team Galactic is good. Then the evil team just started not mattering in Sword and Shield. They're just like losers. Like they took that aspect of Team Skull where they're just a bunch of losers, and then they just said, okay, that's it.
They couldn't figure out what to do next with it.
Well, what made Team Skull work is that they were a bunch of goons and losers, but then you had
Mm-hmm.
like the fancy other team who was the real evil team actually doing the stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what made it like, oh, here's like the actual bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stopped having, I don't know. At some point, because I have the trip coming up in like April, I will probably be getting a Pokemon game to play on the trip, on the airplane. So I will be playing either Sword and Shield or Arceus. It just depends which one I feel like. I've mainly
Whichever one's on sale.
just whichever one I feel is more for literacy. I feel like I probably should have to do like Ruby and Ruby at whatever, Scarlet and Violet,
Mm-hmm.
just so I know. I can be like, okay, this is the problems. This is what that game is. But yeah, I think Pokemon is like okay. So what do you think about the Pokemon TCG phone app about trading cards, opening cards, and apparently it's being compared to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is
Mm.
the faster limited format for the phone and not the computer one where it's like every card.
So I like that you can trade cards.
That is actually cool, and I wish more card games let you do that on the
Yeah,
computer.
because like as it is, like I do not as much as like I'll watch you playing Magic, and I'm like, oh, okay, I want to play Magic, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I have to like actually play to get cards to make a deck I'm actually interested
Yeah,
in.
I would not recommend someone starting Magic the Gathering Arena
Mm-mm.
unless you have started 5 years ago and
Mm-hmm.
you just kind of like that. Like that game cannot be free to play ever unless you're unless you've just played it at lunchtime for 5 years. Then you can do it.
Yeah,
Like my
and it's one of
resources,
those,
oh, I can play that game forever.
and it's one of those things too of like, I feel like it would do nothing but help buy-in if Magic made it so you could just give people cards,
You
because
can
then it would actually get them playing.
you can do that in the Magic the Gathering online, the one that looks like an Excel spreadsheet. It is hot
Mm-hmm.
garbage, but it looks like an Excel spreadsheet. It's hot
Mm-hmm.
garbage. That is the problem, and it's like, oh, it's unintuitive. I'm not gonna play Magic the Gathering online,
Yeah.
even though there's cool stuff in Magic the Gathering online. One of the things in Magic the Gathering Online that I actually think is cool is you can technically cash out your digital cards for real ones. So if you
Hmm.
complete an entire set of cards, like you have 4 copies of every card, you can redeem them for physical versions of those cards. And they will
Hmm.
mail you the cards, which it's cool. It's a
But like,
low.
why do they have two different platforms anyway?
Well, one is because the common knowledge is that they had the old one, the Magic the Gathering Online, which has been chugging along forever. And then
Mm-hmm.
when Hearthstone was big, they wanted their quote unquote esports game. They wanted the game that had the good graphics that they could use to do their tournaments on. And that's why they developed Magic the Gathering Arena. Because they're like, okay, this is the one. We'll put it on the phones. Because Magic the Gathering Online cannot go on the phones. And then we'll make it so that it has a user interface. So when we're gonna like do our tournaments, we can show them this one and have like, oh, here's the animation and stuff. Unfortunately, because Wizards of the Coast, notable geniuses, they like
Mm-hmm.
didn't put enough developer work into it, and then the CCG boom kind of died because that's
Well,
you're gonna
but
say.
why didn't they just update Magic the Gathering Online?
I have no idea why you wouldn't just update that client and have like Arena be a part of it and be like, okay, you can play that, and then we're gonna like backfill it.
Yeah.
The answer is I don't know. Maybe it's
Like,
too hard to do the database. Maybe it's I literally have zero idea.
all I know about marketing is they are scared to death about like any confusion about your brand at all.
Oh yeah.
So I don't understand how even marketing allowed them to make a second virtual card game.
I think they pitched it as more of the esports platform. So
But
that
then marketing still should have been like, but you already have one. And
uh
then like how do you
I guess it was less expensive to make an entire new one. I don't know. I'm not Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast is garbage.
mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what they're doing. I am not an executive because I have a functioning brain. Unless you're at like Nintendo, where everyone is like all those images where they're like we're like, all right, we're just gonna lay off everybody, and then they have like the Nintendo executive quote, and he's like, we have to keep on our staffs because they make good games, and then they're gonna make future good games. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, no, we fire everyone. Okay, so Drew, what did you think about the $1 million tournament in Street Fighter 6? Did you watch
The
it?
VTuber boy took it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good. I watched top 8. I enjoyed it. I can't tell you like specifics of matches because I'm not that far in. I just enjoyed what I was watching. There was some nasty stuff going on with Rashid. I liked it.
Huh?
I liked
Yep.
Luke. I liked
Jury down players are in shambles.
Yeah. The nerfs and buffs have happened. I don't know who got nerfed and buff.
No, that wasn't the actual one. That was just like a minor one that just touched some characters.
Yeah.
But there's an actual like decent patch that's going to be coming probably when Akuma drops.
That makes sense. That's when you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want
But
to.
yeah,
No, I think
you
it's...
love to see an unsponsored player win it.
Oh, that's good.
Uh-huh.
I think that those level of events are incredibly important for video games. Even if you don't have the idea that you're going to become the very best like no one ever was. But the fact that there is a scene there both gathers people to play it, but also makes sure that you're like, I'm not playing a dead game.
Mm-hmm. And like it was nice too hearing second place.
Oh, they got a lot of money. Yeah, it wasn't just like 1 million for the winner and then no one. Like they were still getting like six figures.
Uh-huh.
Five and 6 figures for top 8, which is that's good.
But yeah. Uh-huh. But it was like he was talking about like he's a salary man, so like he still has to work, and then he comes home and he practices for like 4 hours every day, and like that's his grind. And I'm just like, yeah, that sucks.
That sucks, but it's also inspiring.
Uh-huh.
That's what you want. That's what you want your video game to be. Because like one of the issues that Magic the Gathering kind of dovetail back into that is that with the decline of the Magic Pro Tour, you can tell that people aren't really playing standard Magic the Gathering anymore.
Yeah.
Like everyone's playing the casual commander format and then they're trying to pivot to that, but then it's like but people aren't buying new cards cuz they just get their commander deck.
Uh-huh.
Like
It's a casual game to
Yeah,
like they just want it's a thing to do while I'm hanging out with other people. I'm not hanging out with other people to do the thing.
no, I'm just like it's just I think commander pivoting to commander is overall bad. And I guess that's why they're going into Universes Beyond, so you can be like, here's the Iron Man deck. You're like Fallout. You like Fallout.
I think that's also just trying to grab at money.
Oh, they're grabbing. They are grabbing at money. Yeah, but I like.
But yeah,
Street Fighter.
it's the thing in like Ippo where they're talking about like, no, there's not payouts here. There's not enough to live on.
You gotta have a job.
Dude,
Ippo,
this
you gotta
cause
work
we
on that
love
fishing
it.
boat.
Yeah. You gotta run that flower store.
Ippo,
Unless you're like one of the rare ones who are Takamura, who just
never loses. Takamura.
We're talking about Ippo.
We're talking about Ippo and Street Fighter.
Purses.
We also talked about Pokemon. Do you have any Pokemon thoughts, Nolan?
It's my favorite Pokemon. I'm glad it's back.
Cool.
Yeah. What Pokemon do you want to see get a Mega Evolution?
You have some time.
I would really like in my head give the Nido King, Nido Queen some Mega Evolutions.
That's a good choice. I didn't think about that, but that's an incredibly good choice. Nido
like, as of
Emperor.
now, as of now they're pretty bland. Just throw them too.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's a good answer.
That's a very good answer. Better than mine. I just said Starmie so we can have biblically accurate Starmie.
Oh god, that'd be terrifying.
But yeah, we just talked about Street Fighters.
Oh yeah, Capcom Cup.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, pivoting off of that. All right, let's talk about 2XKO. The name reveal.
God, yeah.
The name reveal of Project L.
Hate it.
I really don't like that you pronounce the X.
Yeah. That's how they said it, so that's how I'm going to say it. I think
they just said you pronounced the X. They didn't say how I pronounce it. I'm calling it 2 times KO.
2 cross. Double cross knockout.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a way better name.
It is. There's like I think that name is what happens when you have people in an enclosed boardroom or an enclosed room and they've workshopped something so hard in their bubble that it makes sense, and then immediately when presented outside of the bubble, everyone's like, that's terrible.
Everyone says X-Bone and laughs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where like you can see like in the Microsoft Office where they're saying like, okay, the Xbox One, everyone, we got it. It's the one game. Like you can see how like everything's gone, and then they expose it, and everyone's like X-Bone, and they're like, oh no,
it says X-Bone.
Where like you can tell like, okay, we got our game. It's gonna be 3 initials. The logo's gonna work. It's like when people, whenever they say the game's coming up, they always just like cut it down, like KOF 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, we'll just do that to start with.
Exactly. So when they're saying, "Oh man, you're gonna play some 2XKO," and you're like, "No,
I want to play some 2X video." That's what we're going to be playing.
I'm basically going to call it the League of Legends fighting game.
Yeah, League X Legends.
Possibly, I
Lost Legends.
So the only reason I think that there are 2 reasons I think it's not associated with League of Legends proper. Reason 1 is the minor reason where this leaves them open to put Valorant characters in there. I don't know how popular Valorant is. I assume it's popular.
I think it's pretty popular.
I think it's fairly popular.
I think it's more popular than Call of Duty.
Like, it's up there. It has usurped Counter-Strike, I think.
That. Call of Duty
it's definitely...
It's in there. Yeah. People like those characters, I guess.
It's more popular than...
I just turned on Twitch, and the most popular categories are just chatting, GTA 5, League of Legends, Fortnite, and at number 5, Valorant, above Counter-Strike and Call of Duty.
Oh, must be.
I don't even know what Valorant looks like.
It's like a hero shooter.
It's Counter-Strike. Do you know what Counter-Strike looks like?
No. He said hero shooter. That's Overwatch. Does it
Yeah,
look like
it's like
Overwatch?
Yep.
Or
it's
does it look like
Overwatch.
Counter-Strike?
It's both.
Both.
It's you pick your Overwatch character, and then they're playing a match of Counter-Strike where you're buying like your AK-47 between rounds, but they have their powers.
But you shoot like energy blasts out of your hands every so often.
You have like cooldowns
Okay,
like Overwatch.
But stylistically, what's it look like?
Oh,
Does it look like
Overwatch.
anime?
It looks like Fortnite in my opinion.
I think it looks like
Okay.
Riot Games token, like not anime style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they have their.
It's
It's not anime. Maybe it's manhwa. Are we gonna call it manhwa for Koreans? Because it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a manhwa art style.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the
I like that better.
Genshin Chinese anime. But yeah,
No. Yeah, it's real Korean. It's what I would call it.
extremely Korean.
Okay.
But yeah, that's also fun warning. I may go offline at any moment because we're having a thunderstorm.
Oh yeah, it's going on hard right now.
Yeah. We're getting our last gasp of cold.
It's supposed to be 20 tonight. I
Yep.
hate this.
But then it's gonna be spring. I think like it's actually spring next week.
Yeah, I hope so.
Where we're getting like highs and the lows, the low 60s.
Oh, we've been in the high 80s lately.
Oh.
Oh, see, yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Today is a little chillier. It's only 60, but tonight it's gonna be 45.
Yeah, see that's like what the
I
weather's
love that.
going to be after our cold snap.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna have blackberry winter and dogwood winter.
Yeah. That's just gonna be
A land of 3 winters.
all right. Yeah. So anyway, I think the League of Legends fighting game has a bad name. I think they're gonna.
It's
Yeah,
a horrible name.
Do you think they'll change it?
Yes.
Yes.
I also think they're gonna change it. I think they're gonna change it before release. I think they're gonna change it. Do you think how major of the change will it be? Because I actually like 2KO. I think 2KO, if they remove the X, 2KO actually kind of rolls off the tongue in a nice way.
Or if you just treat it as the Hunter x Hunter or Spy Family X, it's fine too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we just call it 2KO, and they just have
Yeah.
the X is just silent.
That is immediately better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like,
2KO
it's way
sounds
better.
good. If the canon guy just shows up in there and goes, "We are changing the pronunciation. The X is silent." I think
Be like, oh, okay, good.
Okay, good.
You realize.
So you added the X like in the old Xbox Live ways to just get your trademark, your XX to whatever, and then you just say 2KO, and everyone says okay.
I'm very curious. Is it the same plot as League of Legends? It's just you're choosing more champions to fight. Only I guess they got bored of the other format, so they're doing something different.
Well, it depends. We don't know the canonicity of what's going on. See, League of Legends is non-canon. League of Legends is a dream match. The other games are canon. Legends of Runeterra is canon, and Arcane is canon. I think some of the Riot Forge is canon. Some of the if it's good, it's canon. If it's just kind of random, it's not canon. Like, I don't think the Echo game is canon. Because that conflicts with Arcane. It's one of those where there's, like, levels of canon. Kind of like how Warhammer does it, where Warhammer is canon until something better contradicts it. And then you just go...
Well, no, like, the whole plot of it's like... Dota, where it's like, oh yeah, people are using magic to summon champions.
That used to be it.
Right?
No.
That used to be it? Okay.
The League of Legends used to be, instead of fighting wars, we did the League of Legends. And then they changed it where League of Legends was just happening in the world, but it was not the characters. Like, canonically, there is Summoner's Rift, and it's doing stuff, but it's not doing, like, with League of Legends. And then League of Legends has had its lore rebooted, like, 4 times.
I haven't played League of Legends in a very long time.
Oh man,
as you can tell.
Yeah, you were playing back in the day where League of Legends was actually the characters were going to the Rift and things were decided there. Now it's just it's a KOF dream match. It does not matter. It's non-canon. The real stuff is like Arcane, and I guess Project L maybe, or two whatever I'm gonna call it.
Oh geez, I forgot. There's like 2 or 3 other games that they're working on.
Yeah, there's the MMO, which will be canon.
There's the RPG.
And then there's they came out with one RPG. It's there's like the
there's.
It's like the Diablo.
Oh, okay.
There's like a Diablo that's like been cooking and no one knows, and then there's the MMO which has been cooking and no one knows, and then there's like the fighting game
that was cooking and no one knew until they finally started talking about it.
The current joke is the MMO going to be titled like 1 million XP or something?
Capcom. The children are hungry for the Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh, they are hungry for it.
They are hungry for it.
I also wanted to add it. I watched the final season of Letterkenny, and you know what?
What?
It's okay.
Okay.
You can skip like once. I don't know exactly when this happens in Letterkenny, but once Wayne starts dating Modine's cousin, and kind of or that. Okay, so when did you stop watching Letterkenny, or have you continued to keep up on it?
Let me. Hold on.
So
You
okay,
go ahead, Drew. I'm thinking.
when Wayne's sister had the breakup with that like douchey guy.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like you could.
And then I tried to watch 2 episodes of the next season multiple times.
You could just skip to the end. I think like you watch it until where Wayne's sister breaks up with the douchey guy. You could just skip to the final season to just wrap everything up. All you need to know is that at some point, Katie decided to take a trip to Mexico. That is literally the only plot significance that happened. And then you can just watch the final, because the final plot arc is the D-Gens start trying to court Derry. And then it kind of ends. It's pretty.
Okay.
That's it. You
Also, I don't have Hulu anymore, so I'm just
okay. That's fine.
Never going.
But I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
like, as someone who likes Letterkenny, the final season is okay.
Let's see. It was after Vidvoc, which was season 10.
Okay. Just
the Vidvoc one I couldn't. Yeah.
Just skip to the end.
That was
just
a better
skip
idea.
to the final episode. You'll watch it. It'll be fine.
All right.
They're just kind of like, yep. They have a bit where they talk about how dumb Fart Book was, and I'm like, well done.
No, that was my favorite episode. I loved it.
I loved Fart Book. I think that's the Letterkenny that like shows like how much of its age. I think that's like the one that aged like total milk.
No, I don't think it has, because it was bad when it first came out.
Yeah,
but it's gotten worse. I'm not saying it was good. It's gotten worse.
I don't think so. I think
I don't know. I'll have to
dated when I
rewatch it.
watched it the first time.
It definitely wasn't great at the beginning.
I did not like.
Maybe I'll rewatch it and have like a fondness for it compared to the Vidvoc.
Oh, that one was really. It's just
video.
It's bad.
It's so horrible.
There's some Letterkenny kind of got bad, but then it ended, and then you're like, okay,
all right, good.
It's fine.
This should have happened several seasons ago.
It really should have happened several seasons ago. There was like, I feel like it to me, it's one of those where they had the ending written and ready to go, but then Hulu kept giving them money, so they said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna like crap out like a season. We don't care."
Okay, so they go fight Katie's boyfriend at the end of season 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have 9, 10, 11, and 12 afterwards.
Yeah, just skip to the end.
Yeah.
Just skip to the final season. I don't know what season that is. It's 12 or 13. Just skip.
8 wasn't even good. 8 was noticeably dropped down from. Like, I feel like they could have gone from 6 to the end.
You can kind of like. I think.
Hold on. I'll the Meta Knight episode was okay, and that's the only one I'd save.
Yeah, because the Mennonite, there's a plot line with that with Squirrely Dan,
Damn.
where he's like he keeps dressing more and more like a Mennonite because he's
Right.
thinking about going with him.
Courting.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, I think I'm courting.
he's like, well, you know.
I'm like, that's the only piece I'd keep. Throw everything else out.
Yeah, but you can skip to the end, and it's okay. It's not as good as Peak Letterkenny, but it's way better. It's watchable.
It's better than most things.
Oh, it's
honestly.
I liked it. I like the ending. It's only 6 episodes. That's also helps.
Yeah.
That is true.
Where you're like, yeah,
6 episodes in a special.
it's not even a special. It's just 6 episodes. It's just over. Okay, but now we're for the main event for the last bit. I want to talk about the Willy Wonka experience.
Jesus Christ.
You sold us a dream and delivered a nightmare.
I wish so like this made me think you can't beat the classic Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Tim Burton couldn't do it. But imagine if Tim Burton's Willy Wonka like started off the factory, was all like fanciful, and then he got into the factory and it was the Willy Wonka experience. It's just like a dingy convention center with like
This is DashCon.
it's so funny.
Jump into the Willy Wonka ball pit.
It's so awful. It's just it's that one where they just had like a tarp of the AI art against a wall.
Uh-huh. It's just how scarce everything is.
The sad looking Oompa Loompa. It's just a lady.
She's just like, I don't want any of it.
She looks like death, and there's a smoke machine everywhere.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it, but you guys see where there's a mirror monster?
Yeah,
as
the
well?
Mirror Man.
God, holy, nightmarish, horrifying.
To be fair, for this picture I just uploaded, I turned the saturation up on it to make it a better representation of what an Oompa Loompa should be.
Oh yeah,
It's so horrible.
it's so good.
I would pay anything to go in there. Oh, I'd love
By
it.
anything? Do you mean like $5?
Yeah,
I would pay. No,
I would pay
go to
upwards
Black
of
Cloud.
$5.
I would go to Europe to go watch this, just to do this. It's so amazing.
I would not pay to do it. I just want like a completely other experience where I'm sitting in like like a football watching like box room. I get like my chair and I get to watch the camera feeds of disappointment as people going through the Willy Wonka experience with their kids.
I want to know what happened because they said they got the police involved. I want to know what happened.
What do the police do?
I don't know.
But they like, you have to give them their money back.
It's so good. It's so good.
And it's so immediately what everyone warned about with AI art.
Yeah.
Have you seen the things for the Wizard of Oz event? The same
Oh
company
Lord,
as
I have not.
Oh, hold on.
The Oz Escape Repair. Oh, it's in Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So here you go, Nolan. You don't have to go to Europe, just to Charlotte.
All right. Let me see
Like
here.
all I saw was like AI artwork of the 4 main characters.
Yeah, I saw that. God. Ed and Eddie scams are coming real.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know. I think this is subpar Ed and Eddie because they actually made things.
Yeah.
I
They
know.
put the work in.
This is like they raided a party supply store and a fog machine. They're like, it's Willy Wonka, gang.
Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka.
The amazing chocolatier.
Tier. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why? Like, who? Okay, you've done the advertising.
Yeah.
You get the set built.
Yeah.
What's the point where you take a step back and go, maybe I shouldn't?
Oh no, you're already
Maybe.
gone. You're already gone.
You're locked
Similar to
in,
DashCon.
is what you're
Like,
saying.
to me, similar to DashCon, whoever set this up is like the money man. Like, listen, I'm like the finance officer of the Willy Wonka experience. We're going to set this up. It's going to be great. And then, like, the day has arrived. You walk there and, like, where's the finance officer? And you're going to say, we don't know. That wasn't even their name. They're just gone.
Yep.
They're gone.
All right, later days,
All
guys.
right, later.
Yeah.
Bye. We're also gone, like the Willy Wonka
Yeah, we're-
experience.